To Archant Towers, and welcome to one of the most exciting days in the football calendar. Of course, it's the day when the fixtures are released, which is wonderfully exciting. We've got live over on YouTube, Facebook, all the PinkUn channels as usual, although I'm double checking at the moment. We've kind of put this together in quite a hurry, nothing like planning these things, but it is almost fixture release time now, so not much chat, which is probably a saviour for you all. The fixtures are due out any moment. They will pop up here on the Norwich City website, and then of course we can tuck into what we will see. It will be quite interesting to see if Norwich City's hard bits or not hard bits. Could you hear any of that before? Are you not sure? Tony's doing a sterling work. Yeah, sort of. I hope you could hear me. Now you should be able to hear me properly. First and foremost, welcome to my desk. What an absolute mess it is. Mr. Lakey, my boss, he's just on the phone behind me, but he very kindly bought me a coffee. We're also going to speak to some of the guys around the desk who are, of course, big Norwich fans or columnists as well, and hopefully they'll give us the score in terms of what they feel about Norwich City's fixture list. But once we get the green light on here, and we've got the green light in here, you can see Sky Sports is on behind us. They're counting it down. They're saying 8 seconds. I can tell you they are already live on the website. Tony, do you want to lift up and have a little look? Norwich City's fixtures in the Premier League. Their Premier League return as Championship champions, and they kick off at Liverpool on February the 9th. That would strike me as the first game of the Premier League season, and it's going to be at the home of the European champions. That seems quite a tricky first task. Norwich then at home to Newcastle. Goodness knows what state they'll be in by that point, given how their summer is going. Chelsea at home is clearly against the Europa League champions. So Norwich are playing the 2 European title winners in the space of their opening 3 games. That is at least at Carrow Road. Trip to West Ham for the first time to the London Stadium. Oh, and then there's the small matter of the Premier League champions, Manchester City, at home as September kicks off. There's an international break between those. And then the relatively easy task of a trip to Burnley. There we go. They are the fixtures. Get your reaction in, that be it on Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Excuse me while I just share the Periscope broadcast, because I didn't do that when we went live because we were quite short of time. But there we go. That is all there now. So yeah, get your comments in. I'll try and keep track of them. I'll go through as many of them as possible. We want your instant reaction. I want to know what you're looking out for. Down at the Norwich City Press team, Liam Ray's already dubbed this like Christmas Day. Now I always used to liken that more to the transfer deadline day, but you know, I'll take fixtures day as well. I guess that start kind of underlines the point that this is going to be a tough season for Norwich, and we don't know how good they're going to be and how they're going to take it on. But it's hard when you look for easy fixtures, let's put it like that. Okay, let me now take you through October. I'm going through these, of course. In fact, Tony, can we see the fixtures? Should we have a look at them? Tony's literally done this in the space of 30 seconds. He's just a marvel. October then, well, as we said, September, once Norwich have got Manchester City out of the way, it's then a trip to Burnley and a trip to Crystal Palace. In this situation, 2 fixtures where you would look at trying to pick up points, because that's what Norwich are going to have to do to survive the league. Obviously, bear in mind that these are all going to come up as 3 o'clock Saturday kickoffs. I would imagine probably at least half of them are going to end up being at a different time in a different place. Not a different place, but a different time and maybe a different date. We move into October. It's Villa at home, of course, freshly promoted from the playoffs. A trip to Bournemouth, and then a visit from Manchester United. No midweek fixtures, so we're all on weekends at the moment. November, it's a trip to Brighton Hove Albion, who just about survived, a visit from Watford, trip to Everton, and then Arsenal at Carrow Road. You know, so at the start of November and some of October, maybe Norwich will be looking at and thinking, okay, let's try and get some points here. Into December, Southampton away, Sheffield United at home, James Maddison reunion, you suspect, at Leicester. This is, of course, the run up to Christmas. That Southampton trip is away from home, so it's a lovely trip to the south coast on a Wednesday night. Anyway, back to Leicester away, Wolves at home just before Christmas, Boxing Day at Villa Park, and then rounding out the year, as tends to be the case, it has to be said, with a visit from Tottenham. When Norwich are played in the Premier League, that tends to be the fixture they get. Into the new year, there is some interest here, so please stay with me. We have Palace at home on New Year's Day. Again, that seems a regular occurrence. Manchester United away then, which is after the FA Cup third round weekend. Bournemouth come to Carrow Road, and then Tottenham away. So a lot of you guys want to go to the to Tottenham's new stadium, myself included. That will be on a midweek in late January. It's then after that the FA Cup fourth round weekend, which Premier League clubs also get off because they're expected to get through to that point. Good luck, Norwich. And then February kicks off with a trip to Newcastle, at the moment on a Saturday, although I think recent history tells us that tends to be put back to a Sunday. And now at this point, Liverpool visit Carrow Road. It is scheduled here for the 8th of February, but it could be played on the following Saturday. This is effectively the winter break. Half the Premier League teams will play on one weekend of that for that game week, half will play on the following weekend. So effectively all the teams will get one weekend off entirely, so a week off. That is their winter break, if you like, and they're trialling it for the first time this year. So a little toe in the water, of course. Trip to Wolves then, and Leicester at home rounds off February. Come into March, Sheffield United away, Southampton at home, Everton at home. Now we're kind of getting into April and run-in territory, where Arsenal away, Brighton at home, Watford away, West Ham at home. There's maybe a couple of decent fixtures in there. I don't know when Easter is, because Norwich will only play one game over Easter on the Saturday. It's not like the Championship where you play a Good Friday and then an Easter Monday. And then we get through to May, where Norwich are three final fixtures: away at Chelsea, a home to Burnley, and then away at Manchester City. Two of those three fixtures are, highly unlikely for Norwich to get points unless they're doing really well. Puts quite a lot on the Burnley fixture, but by the same token, there is a winnable fixture in those final three games, should they need it. April possibly might be the key to getting the points in the bag, if they want to get to that point. Hope you're still with us. That is the fixture list. That's the run-in. Just one thing to bear in mind about Boxing Day. I believe that all those Boxing Day fixtures are going to be broadcast live on Amazon Prime. So they won't be on BT. Possibly, I don't know what that means for kickoff times, to be honest, but they will all be on Amazon Prime, so everyone will get to watch them if they wish, but they won't be on BT or Sky. Amazon bought one of the packages. Let's go through some of your messages, shall we? First of all, on Twitter, Sharon Matthews just got real, which I think is probably the way to say it. Andrew Nickerson, a nice easy introduction to the Premier League, and lots of other bits and bobs there. And in terms of the show, which let's just see what messages we've got on there, if I can, without hopefully getting a load of feedback from what I'm saying. On Periscope, let's see if we've got any messages. I'll wait for them, and I'll also have a look on YouTube too, although I don't think anyone wants to sit here staring at me looking at my phone, because that's not very exciting. In a moment, put the fixture. Oh, good. No one can see me. That's good. Let's have a look then. BMR James, Liverpool away, and Gaming Widow. Sorry, you're a widow to Gaming Widow. Liverpool, nice. I mean, that is one hell of an opening fixture, it has to be said. Duncan Edwards, Manchester City on the final day. What a place for us to seal the title. Someone may have already mentioned to me that it could be, of course, a big title decider, that game at the Etihad. I appreciate the fixtures. Duncan Edwards adds, I don't like that opening fixture. Don't the Premier League know that I've been going since 1980, and it's just lost to 84. Hey, it's a hell of an opening fixture, and it will probably be eye-catching one for Sky Sports as well, given it means that, I guess, Norwich will be able to score the first goal of the Premier League season. I guess some cynics of you out there might also think they have the chance to concede the first Premier League fixture, the goal of the season. So we'll see how it all runs out, of course, but it could be either way. And Alexandra Piper, March and April are big months. Paul Auber adds, best time to play Liverpool, I reckon, which is, of course, that fixture that opens the season February the 9th of August, but it is away from home, which I think might please some people at Carrow Road, because they've got a few things to get prepared for when the season starts. We'll go for a wander in a moment, but let's just go through some messages on YouTube. Oliver Gollard was straight in there saying we get West Ham away. You're right, they did get West Ham away, just not first game of the season. David McKenzie wanted Wolves away. It's in there as well, don't worry. Mike Edwards, what have we got there? He did reckon Liverpool or Arsenal away first as last game of the season. Close, Manchester City. Steve Richards, a good hiding away first game. Time enough to get organised. Exactly. I mean, they've got 8 weeks to prepare for that game and make sure they get the get the bus parked. Oliver Goddard, Liverpool, FFS. The only easy run we'll have is in December, FFS. So I think Oliver's feeling pretty good about it. Mitch Bruce Smith says that Tony is an actual wizard. So there you go. I'd really like to hear Tony's thoughts on the fixtures. Mitch, your desire. Come on, Tony, can you come round? Okay, he's not off and on. I'll be able to see, hopefully frame you up. Just sit on your chair. I'll interview you. Tony, what do you think of it? This is Tony. There he is.
See you.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I don't know if you're in shot, by the way, but I can't tell. What do you, move around a bit.
Well, someone said on for a hiding the first game, but catch them off guard. You never know.
Like spirit.
Could be a good one.
How about the what else catches your eye? We're talking about the pre-run running almost.
I mean, as a sort of closet. No, I won't say that actually.
Closet Newcastle fan.
Yeah. Newcastle away in February. That'll be a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Long old poke.
Now you know why I generally stay behind the camera.
Well, go back behind the camera then. But there you go, Mitch. Your wishes are command. You've just got to speak to Tony, and what a pleasure and delightful man he is. There we go. Jimmy Hodgkins. We're going to win the league. Hashtag Farkas on a horse. That's the kind of optimism we like. So thanks for all those messages on YouTube. Keep them coming in. I'll come back to you. Likewise on Periscope. I do want to just check in on Facebook before we go on a runner around the office. Mr. Lakey is steeling himself for some tough questions, but he did buy me a coffee, so he's in my good books most definitely, as he does always buy me a coffee, to be honest. I owe him about 500 coffees. Let's have a look here. Darius Wuchtas, good luck to Norwich. Craig Brown, April fixtures will be huge. I don't know if people can see the fixtures again, Tony, because that's probably what they want to see, but Craig Brown says April fixtures will be huge. You can see what those are. Arsenal away, Brighton at home, Watford away, West Ham at home before the run-in. Alison Toulson, I think, sums it up perfectly. Exciting, but a little scary. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where it is when you look at those first fixtures. Well, Craig Brown's gone straight for the conspiracy. FA don't want us in the Premier League. Yeah. That's why they gave us Chelsea and Man City in the last 3 games. Craig, I don't think the FA got anything to do with it, I'm afraid. But I love your conspiracy. Tom DeCow, Villa and DeCoe. Sorry, I hope I pronounced that right, Tom. Villa and Spurs matches are reversed in December, I think. Take a look. Oh, Tony, have you made a mistake in the no, but is that right?
What's that?
Oh, I'm trying to. It's still an early morning. Villa and Spurs matches are reversed in December, I think. Take a look. I don't know what that means, but at the moment, it's Villa on Boxing Day and Tottenham on the 28th of December. And unless someone's going to update that, I think that's what they are. Tom, I apologise if I'm being really dense. Help me out. And let's have a look. Ben Sukiyumi, I wonder if this sets up a Klopp-Farker storyline for Sky Sports, do you think? I think that's all they're going to be asking about between now and here. Eddie Edwards, they're watching. Thanks, Eddie. I shouldn't have read that first. And Ollie Bartramakis. I'm going to get used to this, aren't I? Ollie Bartramakis. I think if you say it confidently, it's fine. Hello, Ollie. As you should see, Tony, he's just laughing at me, by the way. Had a horrible feeling it was going to be the Scousers first up. Let's hope for some Farker magic. I think we're allowed to say Scousers. So there we go. How exciting. Tony's going to be on the moon. I did say Chris got me a coffee, so excuse me if I have a quick swig of my coffee. Let's go and let's have a chat to Lakers, shall we? Mr. Chris Lakey, head of sport here at Norfolk. And he's moaning already. He's got a moan. This is great. As long as it's not about memberships, we did that all yesterday. I'm not having any more moans about memberships. I'll come and sit
a few questions
here.
I have.
Oh, go on then.
Where are Ipswich?
Yeah. Well, I don't know the answer to that. They've got to wait.
Can I be the first to say we've got to play everybody home and away?
You've just done that.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Okay. But there is a more valid point than Liverpool or Manchester City. You'll probably know my hatred of Selhurst Park. Norwich go there on...
Yeah, is it New Year's Day?
New Year's Day. They've been there on New Year's Day 3 times in the last 12 years, plus a Boxing Day. Are they trying to ruin New Year's for us? Honestly. I know it's because of the distance, but so give us West Ham.
It's a bit awkward to get around the other side of London, to be honest.
It's just awful. There's a decent chippy up the road. That's okay. but it's just horrible.
Might be coming up against Max Aarons, of course. That is what's known as a joke, by the way.
You can't get away with those with days like this.
What do you think? That's a great point, obviously. But the start, I mean, to go to the European Champions on the opening day of this, before anyone else is playing, it's a phenomenal platform.
I agree with the conspiracy theory. I do think, I think Villa got Spurs away, which I just don't. I think they like their little club, and I don't think they like infiltrators like Norwich and Spurs and Villa and that. I think they like to keep themselves to themselves.
I think Villa fans are like to be called infiltrators.
But they are. They're on the same level. Forget the size of the club. It's the team that went up. Not the, it's a different debate. Yeah, real tough. Liverpool away. But saying that, that's what Norwich aspire to be. That's what they want to do, is to play these big teams. Timu Pukki, I think, actually said, my family want to see me go to Anfield and want to see me try to score at Anfield. So this is what we're all aspiring to be. So perfect, really.
Yeah, bang on.
Awesome, difficult, but really good. I mean, find me a Norwich City fan who's going to the first game of the season is not going to be so excited.
Yeah.
Costs me a little bit more nowadays, but never mind.
Let's not get into that. We're not going to get into that. That's for us.
Yeah, it's nice to have a different type of derby.
Yeah, it's true.
Did I mention that again?
Yeah, I think you did.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know what Ipswich fans are doing today, but hello if you're watching.
Not much.
I guess it is a different dynamic, isn't it, with the Premier League fixtures? Because you do find yourself putting much more weight on certain
you look at
games.
months, don't you, and clumps and that. I haven't got that far into it yet, but Liverpool, Newcastle, that's a great opening game at home. That really is, because they're loud. That'll be a great atmosphere there. Chelsea at home, who knows? West Ham away, not a bad trip. So, yeah, I don't want to say anything, but a Liverpool fan has just rolled up.
Oh, right.
Don't look behind you now.
Of course. Well, this is perfect timing. Let's get Mark Carmy.
He's only just walked in.
Yeah. A fan of the European champions. You've just walked in.
Indeed, yes.
And now you've got to host Norwich on the opening day. On the opening day of the Premier League. Opening night of the Premier League.
My first thought was that it will be changed for TV straight away, I must admit. But as a Liverpool fan, I'd take it.
There is a bit of that, isn't there? You'd probably say, I couldn't wish for a better fixture.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is a bit of that, but Norwich will be full of that. It's all a new experience for them, for this set of players. So you would think they'd perform quite well. I'd still obviously back Liverpool to overcome them, but you never know.
I suppose as long as Norwich avoid a hiding, it's something to work from, really, isn't it? Because if it was any other point in the season, you'd say we'll probably lose. No, but that's the point, isn't it? But that is a point. If Norwich going to Liverpool at any point in the season, it would be like, well, let's see what we can get. But you would expect to lose, and it shouldn't really be any different on the opening day.
It's probably the best time to play Liverpool, to be honest, because you do get some unexpected results on the opening day, don't you? But Liverpool showed this season that there's only one team slightly better than them, and I can't see any different next season, to be honest, as it stands. That being said, I still think Norwich will be more than okay, judging by the quality that's going to be in the Premier League next season.
Okay, I think that's a backhanded compliment. Someone did say it could have been worse. It could have been Manchester City away, but they're not the European champions, are they? Thank you very much, Mark Army. What's Tony got there?
We'll be going back there.
We will be going back there to the shed end. That was Chelsea. That was after about 340 hours of football or whatever it was. And we also had an experience of VAR in that game, and that was pretty hideous because we had no idea what was going on. So all this to look forward to next year. Thank you very much, Chris and Mark. Chris is bang on. I was being massively pessimistic, but it's an interesting debate, isn't it? Because the whole attitude of what Norwich will try and do next season and the setup and everything is going to be completely different. I reckon we pop across here. Tony's doing a sterling job of walking, and have a chat with Mr. Ian Clark and Dave Powles. Dave Powles, of course, editor of the EDP. Clarky, EDP columnist and regular on all sorts of Norwich City forums.
I'm just admiring the. This is what Norwich City does to our websites. I call that a dinosaur spike. It looks like a Diplodocus. The neck of a dinosaur.
Oh, look at Tony. He's always coming up with the official dinosaurs.
You didn't think I was going to start a dinosaur chat, did you?
I'm all over it. I've got a 3-year-old. It's fine. Who knows far more about dinosaurs than me, by the way. Keep your messages coming in on all the forums. We'll go back through them in a moment. Dave, what do you make of the fixtures?
Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? It's got us all sort of back thinking about football, so that's good. Never a bad thing. I'm a little bit disappointed because when you look at the fixtures, clearly you attach your own personal situation to them, don't you? And I have a very, very good friend who's a Liverpool regular, and I was hoping to be able to do an Anfield trip with him next year, but he's on holiday.
Oh no!
And I'm not sure Friday night's
bad time to play them.
Either,
bad
so.
time to play them.
It's a good time to play them, I think, in terms of on the pitch. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed by that. But actually, first game of the season is going to be really exciting, and hopefully Liverpool will be one of those clubs who just need to sort of get going, so we might catch them off guard.
It'd be nice. How interesting is it going through the fit? Because let's be honest, in the Championship, you look at it and go, well, okay, that's what it is. Let's try and win them all. You know, because you don't know what you're going to get. But this is a bit different, isn't it?
It brings home how difficult a challenge it's going to be. I think. I think that most fans will study the first couple, so you will see who the home game is. But then it's those last 6 games, isn't it? You think, oh, blimey, Man City away to finish. That could be a bit tasty, but hopefully by then the job will be done, because before that the last 5 games aren't too bad. Clearly they're not easy, they're still difficult and tough, but not too bad, could be worse.
The pre-running. Top man Dave, I'll let you get on.
Yeah,
I'll go through some messages. He's in a happy mood, which is always good. Just while we're here, I'll come to you in a moment, Clark. I'll just try and get some messages first if we can. Some to Norway. Ollie Batramakis has excused me for his pronunciation. That was probably the first time, don't know about the second time. But there we go. He also had a horrible feeling it was going to be the Scousers first up. I think I've already read that one out. So that's all good. Let's just have a look on YouTube. Mike Edwards, always thought that we would do well this season. Now seeing the fixtures, I actually feel more confident. There you go, you can join us in this. I feel more confident, says Mike Edwards. Can't see us having a 4 or 5 week run without a win. Top 10 finish. Mike, you've completely reversed my pessimism from about 2 seconds earlier, so that is all good. So there we go. So Norwich are opening the season at Liverpool in the Premier League on Friday, August the 9th. I don't know if I said February earlier. I'm not sure. It's been a strange little time, but whatever I said, it's that August the 9th. So they'll be the first fixture. Although Mark said changing them for. I don't know if every fixture is bookmarked for the 9th. Actually, do we know that? Is every Premier League fixture down as the 9th of?
No.
Oh, so it's Norwich isn't on
definitely on the Friday night. So it will be the first game,
and then the others are marked for the Saturday.
Yeah.
So there is that first TV game. Okay, so that's. There we go. That is official. I'll just make sure. I'm glad I got that right. Let's have a look at other messages. N Park Ride first. Says love Norwich City. I don't know if that's just someone trying to get an advert in probably there, but there we go. Well done. Clarky.
So you're going to say to me, is my glass half full or half empty?
Did you do this last year?
No.
Okay, good.
It's a brand new prop for this season.
Is it?
It's half full. I mean,
I love a glass analogy you do, Clarky.
My glass.
Sherry's done that before.
My glass tends. I have never done it before. My glass tends to be half full, maybe a little bit more full than that. And what a start! You know, we battled last season, did so well for games like Liverpool away. So what a start! It's fantastic. And I think, you know, on a Friday night, the first game of the season, we may well get a good guffing, but you know, we'll go and give it a go.
I mean, Chris made the point it's kind of a bit pessimistic to sort of fear going to Liverpool and getting a tanking. But, you know, the Liverpool fixture is another time of the day you probably, or time of the season, you probably think that's the case. What do you make of the run-in? Because, I mean, it's a curious change, isn't it? That now we look at Burnley at home and go, well, better win that. And that's, you know, it's sort of different when you're cherry picking really where you think you can win games, and maybe actually those inside the Norwich camp can't do that. It's not for them to do that, but maybe for us to do it.
I've actually been looking more at the start. I mean, I think, you know, Newcastle at home, clearly that's a really tough game. You know, if it had been last season, you know, the games that we thought were hard last season, Newcastle at home will be really tough. But, you know, if we are going to do well this year, they're the games we need to be looking at. Then Chelsea, West Ham away. A good friend of mine's a West Ham fan, and he said, you know, Norwich are able to catch West Ham on a bad day. They're the sort of games Norwich can win. And then you've got Man City, then Burnley, then Palace, then Villa. So that's sort of September, October time. The games that we ought to be looking to get points from are there. So I think it's a decent start, and full of optimism that we can do well this season, and full of excitement. I mean, what a brilliant start.
How do you think the patience levels will be next year?
I think the patience levels are going to be really good. I mean, the fact is we've got to expect that it's going to be really tough and that we may well go down. And if we're struggling, I just think fans will stick stick with the club. And I think all that's happened in the last year or so has won so much support in terms of the togetherness and everything else. So I think there'll be a lot of patience.
Clarky, pleasure as always. Thank you, my man. Top stuff.
I'm going to get back to my water.
Get back to your water. You can drink it now. That's the good news. I tell you what, let's have one stopover with Mr. Hannon, shall we, Tony, if that's okay. I'll just double check whether we've got any more messages coming through. Christelle, Friday evening is great for those of us watching from the other side of the world. That's a fair point. And it has to be said that, of course, ultimately, Norwich City season is now a case of interest for fans globally, fans of Norwich City globally, but of course, and fans in general. Stephen Hoskins, last 6 home games look interesting. Should be able to get points there, which is of course what people will be looking at, where Norwich get their points. And if I have a quick look on the Fastbook, we're all good there. If I just try and get rid of that and then go back on it, maybe we can get some more, because we've got loads of messages coming in, and that's all good. Right, okay, Mr. Hannon. Hello. Skipping over that. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. You well?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you very much. Mr. Hannon's a very big Norwich City fan, and of course columnist for the EDP. And if you have a look there, Tony, he's still got a picture. You've been on the PinkUn podcast, indeed. A picture of Wes there, looking longingly. Yeah. Could he do a job next season?
Yeah, of course good.
In the Premier League?
Absolutely.
Why not? What do you reckon? You looked at the fixtures?
Well, I'm having some difficulty finding the Ipswich games. Had to get that one in.
Yeah.
Or Leeds, yeah.
Don't say that. Don't say that. I assume they'll take more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think... Has the title ever been decided on the last day of the season between the two title contenders? Because... You know,
yes.
Man City, has it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Arsenal and Liverpool. But,
God, years ago. But yeah, that hasn't happened for a long, long time. So it'd be interesting to see that happen. Well,
Seamus at the Etihad. Yeah.
All joking aside, yeah, it's, you've got to play these teams anyway, and I don't think we could have had a harder first game with Liverpool away. Obviously, just having won the Champions League, they're going to be, riding a crest of a wave and be completely and utterly on cloud 9, but then maybe that plays in our favour. No one's going to expect us to get anything from that. Completely pressure off, and we can go there and cause an upset. But Man City away, I'm kind of having to hope that on the last day of the season we are going to not need a result, but I remember us beating them 3-2 on the last day of the season previously. But yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. Newcastle was one that jumped out for me straight away, because I've got quite a lot of friends who live up in Newcastle who are fans and hoping to kind of come down for the game. So nice to not have to wait for that one very long, and for it to be midweek.
Have they bought their memberships? I'm joking. So I mean, that's also over Christmas, I suppose, and there's this idea of the winter break, of course, where Norwich will play Liverpool at home, but it will be one of 2 weekends, and they'll get the other weekend off. I mean, a winter break for one weekend doesn't really seem a lot, but we'll probably all make a big deal out of it.
It's no different to every, it's just like an international break if it's a week. I kind of feel that when people are talking about wanting a winter break, it's probably a few weeks you'd need, rather than, just the 1 week off, which is essentially the same as an international break.
Although the players won't be away on international duty, of course. So, anything else pretty fancy in terms of the fixtures, Dave? Of note?
Not particularly. I mean, the three first home games are all kind of big clubs, and it's what you wait for and it's what you're longing for. But it might have been nicer to get. There are no easy games, but somebody, perhaps more familiar with, like a Sheffield United or a Villa, or somebody early on at home to try and get the wind on board. But you've got to play everyone twice, and I can't think of many more cliches I can throw at you.
Nope, that's more than enough for one session. Dave, thank you so much. You'll, of course, be hearing from Dave throughout the season, and he'll be writing his column, of course, in the Eastern Daily Press and online at PinkUn.com. Tony's doing a sterling job of walking and filming, which is good. I don't know if I'm spending much time looking at the camera, but thanks all for watching. I reckon we'll wrap it up now. Thanks for all your messages, and of course I hope you've been suitably excited by the whole Premier League fixture release. There'll be loads more from us, by the way, over the course of the day. Paddy Davitt will be giving his reaction over the PinkUn app, I think, in 5 minutes or so. That's the plan. And so that is good. Oh, Mark didn't realise it. Mark didn't realise it was Friday night. So there we go. He was right. They have changed it for TV because it's on the Friday night. So Paddy will be sitting there. That's his desk. I don't think there's anything incriminating there. But his pile of papers is smaller than mine, but that's not a boast. That's a serious issue. Anyway, Paddy will be joining us over the course of the day. We'll be doing a live Q&A, I think, over on the Facebook page at lunchtime, I believe, and recording a PinkUn podcast this afternoon. We might well be filming that as well. So basically, you'll be pretty sick of us by the end of the day talking about which teams Norwich are playing, or more to the point, in which order, home and away. But there we go. That's what Fixture Day is all about. Now you know them. You can sit, enjoy, plan your diary, wait for the fixtures to then be changed for TV, and make sure your year following Norwich City is all planned. And of course, we will do that with you here at PinkUn.com, the Eastern Daily Press, and the Norwich Evening News. Thanks for watching, and here's to the rest of your summer. Enjoy it, and we'll see you at the start of the season.